Do you find it hard to slow down and rest, even though you desperately need some time off? If that is you, then stick with me because this episode is going to be transformative for you. And it's going to show you why it is that this very pattern that you have is actually blocking you from the abundance that you desire. So before we get into that, my name is Rebekah. I am a financial advisor turned quantum wealth advisor, and I help women go from living from survival-based living to living from their soul and living and accessing what I call their soul power, which is the name of the channel. Hello, my love. Welcome to the Soul Powered channel. This is your one-stop shop for all things soul alignment. We're talking getting out of survival mode, moving into soul power, and releasing what society has told you is the definition of success for what your soul actually desires in this lifetime. I believe that you came to this earth with an alignment assignment, which is something to play out during this lifetime, something that you chose long before you came here to do, some kind of impact that you're here to make on the planet, some way that you are here to contribute to help raise the collective consciousness of Earth. And that's my desire, is to help you to be able to play out that alignment assignment by gaining the confidence, by releasing the things that are no longer serving you, by remembering who the fuck you actually are at your soul level, and rising into overflow together. Thank you so much for being here today. I seriously cannot wait to dive in. Let's do this. So I really believe that living a life guided by your soul is the thing that allows you to not only access the money that you desire, but it also allows for you to access the peace and the fulfillment and the things that money can't buy, right? I'm not someone who believes that money is not important. Money is absolutely important. It's the thing that keeps this current world going round. I mean, we need it to survive. It's like the ultimate symbol of survival in our environment. And coming from a place where I did not have very much money at all, as a matter of fact, I grew up below the poverty line and we were on cash assistance, food stamps. We would go to the food bank. Our Christmas presents were gifted from the church. I mean, like we literally didn't have 2 cents to rub together as kids. And then I became a broke teen mother myself and raised my baby alone for 10 years and struggled to put food on the table for her in those beginning years. So I do understand what it means to live in that very survival-based way of living. And now I know what it's like to be able to live from a soul-based living, making decisions from my soul, being able to really take the time to rest, to recover when I need to. And all of these things have really taught me that actually it is possible for you to do less and make more. I'm going to let that land because I know that I used to hear that from mentors and people. And I'm like, oh yeah, like whatever. And it was so annoying and like triggering for me because at the time I was putting so many hours in. I was trading so many hours, so much time for money. I was busting my ass and it never felt like it was enough. Do you resonate with that at all? It's like you keep giving and you're on this like treadmill. They call it the hedonic treadmill, but it's like this, just going and going and going and going and going and going and not making any progress. And I feel like that's actually by design, as a matter of fact, within our current society, which is why I have created the Soul Powered Society, which is a new way, a new paradigm, a new way of making money, a new way of living life that is literally, again, allowing us to create that true fulfillment and the very things that most people are chasing. Most people are chasing things externally that they think are going to give them that true fulfillment that only accessing your soul power will give you. And that's true and that's real. And I've seen so many people who have more money than you and I could even fathom having, and they're miserable or they're unaliving themselves or way kind of crazy things happening in their lives. And so when I watched this happening through my days in the corporate world, something started to click in my mind. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Even though I grew up with not a lot of money and I was kind of taught that money would solve all the problems. But then when I got into the corporate world and I saw that actually money did not solve all the problems and people with money had a lot of problems, I realized that there was a disconnect. And I wanted to figure out what that disconnect was. And it led me to this work around accessing your soul power. So really, I believe that what creates that true freedom and what a lot of people actually want when you ask people what's their ideal life, a lot of times they would say just, financial freedom. But when you actually look at what people believe financial freedom will give them is time freedom. If you go to like, okay, why do you want financial freedom? Well, because I want to be able to take my family on vacation. Okay, why do you want to take? Because I want to spend more time with them. I want to be in nature. I want to be able to just relax. I just want to be able to be, like when you're on the beach and you're just existing and you don't have a care in the world and you're just living and all of your stuff is taken care of because you paid all your bills before you left and the finances are, you're not even thinking about those things, or maybe you are. And if you're in a dysregulated state, I know I used to, but that actually is available for you all of the time. Like literally just getting paid to exist is available for you all the time. But it's all of these beliefs that you have around, maybe you're like me, where I grew up learning that it takes hard work to create success. I have to grind. As long as I work hard enough, I grind long enough, I spend enough long hours. All of those things are going to be the things that create success, right? And so I truly believed that. And here's the thing about reality is that the universe, the quantum field, is not going to override your free will. We live on a planet where you have free will. So what that means is if you want to choose to live in a reality where it takes hard work to create success, you have to trade a lot of hours for money, you're going to have to grind, you're going to have to work long hours, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot. The universe is going to give you a reflection of that reality back because we live in a planet of free will. So the universe isn't going to say, but what do you mean? You can have way more than enough. Excuse me, I've been talking for a couple hours now. So my throat's like, okay, I think we're done after this. But my point with this is the universe is not going to override that free will. So it's going to be really, really important for you to start to create the internal experience of I can still rest and still receive. The less I do, the more that I make. And those things might just sound like affirmations right now, but the reality is they are accessible to you. They are real. And I was just laying out on my deck in the sun yesterday or the day before, and I was just on my lunch break, close my eyes, and I very much could have been at a beach somewhere. I'm just like, this is the exact feeling that I feel when I'm on the beach. And I get to experience that every single day because I have complete and utter time freedom. There are certain weeks when I literally look at my calendar and I'm like, I have nothing on the schedule this week. I don't have to leave the house. I don't have to do anything. This entire week, I can just design it however I want to. And I have more than enough passive income I have more passive income than I used to make annually from trading 40 to 60 hours a week. It pays for my bills. It pays for us to go on vacation. It pays for all the things. And I'm just getting started. Like I'm literally just getting started. So for me, it was a mind fuck. I will be honest about that. It was a mind fuck going from a place of like having to grind and people needing me all the time to quitting my corporate job and building something that was going to pay me passively. I remember the first time that I was on vacation, I got a $20-some thousand check while I was on vacation. And I thought, something is off here. Like this can't be right. And then the more that I did it, the more that I rested, the more that I took time off, the more that I just took the afternoon off and went for a bike ride, the more that I started to scale back my hours, start taking longer lunch breaks, starting later in the day, the more that I started to do those things, the more that the universe was like, oh, okay, cool. Like when you're on vacation is when I'll send you the money. It was like the money was already en route, but for some reason it would like hit my bank account when I was on vacation or when I was taking a day off. It was like this nod from the universe of like, I'm telling you it's possible. This is actually the story of one of my clients who she came to me struggling around money. She learned my 5-step method, went through my program and literally like quadrupled her income within 4 to 6 weeks of taking the program. But the funniest part about her story is that she started messaging me when she was on holiday because she lives overseas. So she calls it holiday. And she'd be on holiday and just receive money out of nowhere. Like her in-laws would send her a check and just be like, you know what? You guys have been doing really great. Like we're just going to start to advance some of our inheritance to you because we want to give it to you now. We want to see how you enjoy it. And she'd get $5,000. And then it became this like repeatable thing that like every time she went on holiday, she's just receiving random money. And so I was like, I'm going to try that myself. And then it started happening with me too. And so she really showed me what was possible. I love that, actually. I have to tell her that. So my point with this is, though, that it's going to take you starting to dismantle these beliefs, this whole matrix, the system that you've been living in, this story that you have around what's possible for you and how much time you need to trade for money, etc. And you've got to dismantle all of that and then start to create the story that it actually is possible for me to rest. And you can start to make micro decisions towards that. So a dear friend of mine, I was helping her through this last year. She was overworking herself. And it was to the point where she was burning herself out so badly that she was going to shut down her business. And I've been here before, actually, where I was like overworking myself and it was completely self-imposed, but I'm like, I can't handle another thing. And yet I would work until, I was exhausted. And so I was watching her do this. This is years ago that I was still doing those things. So I was watching her do this and I'm like, you got to stop. Like, you have to stop or just decide now that you're going to give up the business. You got to, like, she was working on weekends, not taking lunch breaks. I mean, 7 days a week. And I used to do the same. So I can't even sit here and talk. But I'm like, you got to start with some lunch breaks, put your phone away on the weekends, start going away a little bit, start taking some time off. And slowly but surely, she started doing that. And now she's at the point where she only works on her business when she's inspired. She's making more money in her business passively, has way more leads coming in than before because she finally decided to outsource some of the things that were draining her energy to someone that is excited about doing them. And she's like 10x her results as a result of like literally just taking time off, resting, slowing down, because rest is part of the process. And what you're doing when you're resting is you're showing the universe that you believe that you're worthy of the time, you're worthy of the rest. And where you put your attention and energy, where you put your attention is where energy flows. So the universe is like, oh, she's putting her attention on rest and taking time off and giving her body what she needs. I'm going to give her more opportunities to do that. But because she's a vibrational match to this money, I'm going to make sure that the money still shows up. And I've seen it happen time and time and time again. And now I'm down to a 3-day work week. I take Thursdays. Sometimes I work on something if like I need to catch up, but the majority of Thursdays are all just my personal days. I'm doing household items. I'm getting errands run. I'm taking a really, really long morning routine, which might sound silly coming from me when my morning routine is already 5 hours long. I've gotten a little obsessive with it, but I love it. So it's my favorite time of the day. And then Fridays, my husband is off. So we have 3-day weekends together every week. So I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I literally make more money passively than I ever have in my life. And my business is just growing because I'm outsourcing the things. I'm only showing up in my zone of genius, which is stuff like this, sharing and connecting and coaching and mentoring and doing podcasts and doing interviews. Like the things that I want to do are the things that I get to do now. And so when I'm showing up in so much higher of a frequency for you. Like if I'm burning myself out and then I show up on here, I'm going to be sluggish. I'm going to be like struggling with what to say, but because I'm fully well rested, I actually took a nap on my lunch break today. Because I'm fully well rested, then it means I can show up better for you. I can be more channeled. I can be more tapped in. I'm living my life guided by my soul. But that's because I've removed this whole survival aspect from the equation. And that's what I want to help you do. So if you're ready to do that, then check out the free resource in the link in my bio. It's not the bio here, whatever. Link in the show notes. Check out the resource. It's the Rise to Riches workshop. And then sometimes I'll put different ones in there because I've created a lot of different freebies for you guys who want to dive deeper than this podcast can allow so that you can do that and actually learn what's going on. Learn about your financial thermostat. Learn about the things that are happening below the surface that you don't even know are happening. The things that are controlling your decisions, the unconscious programs, the nervous system protective patterns, like all of those things play a really, really big part in the decisions that you're making every single day and in the things that you're manifesting every single day as well. So if you want to learn how to do that, check out the Rise to Riches workshop. That's a really good place to start. And we'll just keep diving in together. Make sure you tune back into the next episode. And I can't wait to see you then, my love. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next episode. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today on this episode of the Soul Power Channel. I trust that you got what you came here for. And truly, if this episode resonates with you, would you do me a favor and send this to someone else that you know it would resonate with as well? That really increases the probability that we're going to be able to collapse time and move into the soul-powered society even faster. We're headed to the new earth. It's inevitable. It's happening. But the more of us that can access our soul power, walk in that soul-powered truth, and create this together to be that beautiful bridge from the 3D where we're living now to the 5D new earth, the better. So share this with someone. Come back anytime you need inspiration. I'm so happy to have you here. I love you so much. And I'm so, so, so grateful for every single moment that you decide to tune in. And I can't wait to see what transforms in your life as a result of this work. We'll see you next time.